This is Shalom from the Great Millstone, the Atlanta camp. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Bahakudash. Double honor to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. They teach and rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna title this video, but pretty much I ran into a little quick video. It was a so-called white man who's actually the Edomites, according to the Bible. This guy was saying black people don't have a land, and just not even black people, but actually Israelites, black, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't really possess anything on this side. Now, the Northern Kingdom, they have their own countries, they have their own lands, but look at Mexico. It's ran by a small hat. All right, you got these other countries. A lot of these leaders are heathens. Even if Jake is over the country, that particular country, they still have to lean on Esau for everything, and that's part of the curses. We have to go to all enemies for the one of all things. But yeah, we're not gonna have our own land where we can have our own currency, our own government, our own everything. We can't have that because this devil is greedy, and he feel like we would take over if we had everything. Same thing that happened in Egypt. I believe Pharaoh said they got to deal wisely with them because they'll overthrow them. As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. I believe it's in it's right at the beginning of Exodus. It's probably like 1 and 5 or something. 1 and 10. Exodus 1 and 10, it says, "Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there fallen out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. So it says, and so get them up out of the land." So what did they do? They put it says they put taskmasters over them, and pretty much brought the affliction. And that's when the slavery, the bondage got worse, because we originally walked into Egypt to do business. Everybody know the story behind, Exodus and the 12 tribes and all of that. So let's go to Hebrews, because this Esau has to have us under full control. If not, we'll take over this place. If all the Israelites really teamed up, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans really teamed up, we will control the planet. But that's not how it's supposed to happen. It's going to happen in the kingdom, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai ruling. But on this side, we pretty much lost all our might. All right, so this is Hebrews 13 and 14, and it says, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And yeah, we are seeking one to come. Can you imagine how, even in this world, in this current world, if Jake, let's say just Judah, if Judah had their own country, now you have a few places in Africa that you still got Jake over there, and like I said, South America, but all of this is ruled by Esau. and other heathens. If we really had our own currency, our own gold, our own everything, man, like Esau will have to go to war with us. He would have to. Now Jake, Jake could be like, hey, we'll have all land, you got yours, and we can trade and do this. And no, that's not how it works when you're dealing with this devil. What the scriptures say, never trust our enemy. Pretty much if you sit him in your place, he'll take over, roughly paraphrasing. So yeah, this Edomite that did that video, and he kind of he thought it was, it was like a comedy. But yeah, I mean, we don't have all. I mean, why would black people, so-called black people, have their own land when they was brought to a land as slaves and never sent back? So it was real stupid. And then he was like, where there is, you do got Jamaica, that was conquered too. Those are Israelites too. They speak English. I mean, it's hard English, with their heavy accents, but it's still English. Let you know they was conquered by English. The English. The Europeans. So yeah, I mean, we're not gonna have our own on this side. We don't supposed to. We're still up under the curses. Even when Jake tried to have these cities where and I'm talking about Judah, so-called Negroes, even when they tried to have these cities where they had their own hospitals, schools, churches, currency. Well, not really currency. They still used to, the so-called white man dollar. But when they had these things, what did Esau do? He destroyed it. Just like we read in Exodus. They think that we will overtake them. And we will. So that's why I said he has to do these things that he's doing. Now he has to have everybody under full control. So what do? They manipulate the minds. That's the new form of slavery. Like Jake still is a slave. Jake is still a slave. Now your mind is manipulated to think that, this man is above you, to think that you can only be an entertainer, athlete or something like that, or a criminal. That's how they label us. And I was talking to my rib earlier, and I was talking about when Trump brought up the Mexicans were taking the black jobs, and then Jake went out, started doing all these videos talking about, this is my black job, and these was like doctors and lawyers and business owners, and basically saying, hey, we got the same jobs as you, Esau. But yeah, Esau think that they just have to be on top. And just let them have it. This is their kingdom that's coming to an end quickly. So just let them have it. All kingdom is right around the corner. That's why it feels good to cut on the news and see all kind of chaos and shit going on, because that we are deep into the end. We're in the last few seconds of this place. So yeah, we're gonna have all continuing city. It's gonna be everlasting too. That's the world without end. All right, our world is never gonna end. This devil, his world is coming to an end now. So I mean, something like that, you can't even really get mad at. You can almost laugh with them. And when I say that, because they still, think that it's funny, they don't understand that they're about to lose. They're gonna be as a matter of fact, this is gonna be the biggest loss in the history of history. You gain the whole earth, you get all this control. Job 9:24, the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. And then it's gonna be taken from you. It's that Daniel chapter 7. in like 25 or something. Yep, it's going to be taken away. So yeah, and when it's taken away, Israel, the ones that don't have a city now or don't own anything on this side, is going to rule the whole planet. All the other nations. All right. This is Jeremiah 23 and is it 8? Yep, Jeremiah 23 and 8. It says, but let's go to 7. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries, whether I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. And that north country is talking about North America. You notice it didn't have a name. It's talking about North America. And then it says all the other countries. So we're scattered through all these other countries. And the Lord is going to bring us up and put us in our land, because right now it's possessed by these heathens. It's possessed by Amalek. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get Joel 3 and 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, in the Hebrew is Jehoshaphat. It says, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Yep, so we're going to get that land back. The Lord bless us with that land. And right now, and then, like I said, we're in the curses. The Lord did these things because we didn't keep our end of the covenant. But we're going to get it back. All right, so right now, hey, these heathens, they can have this, all this, that's coming to an end. They can have America. America is not going to be, when America is going to be great, that's when you're going to have 20 million missiles hitting this place. That's when America is going to be great. This place was set up to be a huge jail cell to house Israel in captivity. And once Israel wake up, everything's going to go to hell and America's going to be destroyed. As a matter of fact, let's go up. Or should I say, let's go back. Joel 2. This is Joel 2 and 3. It says, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. That's talking about the nuclear missiles. Because the fire that devoured before them, that's talking about the warhead. And then the flame behind them, that's the actual rocket that's pushing it. It says, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them. Of course, because, America, especially before the so-called pilgrims came over and, turned it into America. This was a beautiful land. You have mountains, you have deserts, you got all kind of lakes, rivers, waterfalls, beaches, 2 different oceans. It was a beautiful place. And it still is some beautiful parts of America. And it says, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. So yeah, it's going to be a desolation once those missiles hit. And the ones that's going to be left are the ones that's stuck in this place. But the ones that want out and that the Lord find favor in, they're going to be delivered out of here. So yeah, this place was just, America was just created pretty much to be destroyed. Let's get another scripture. And this is Ezekiel 35. In verse 10, it says, let's go to 9. It says, I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. And why is the Lord going to do this to these cities? Now, this whole Ezekiel 35 is dedicated to Esau, Edom, Mount Seir, Idumea, the so-called white man. It says, because thou hast said these two nations and these two countries, that's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. And it says, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord Yahweh was there. So yeah, they like, we just gonna take these people over because they don't want us. We don't, it's in our power to do it. And that's what this devil did. But the Lord is going to pay them back for that. He said, they city shall not return. So yeah, Esau, you joking about, so-called black people not having their own country. I mean, it's just wait, bro. And it ain't just, just black people. It's like I said, it's all 12 tribes. And we're about to own the whole planet through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, so with that, I want to end it by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwidash. Double honor to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us his truth. Shalom to the elect.